It's just because yes, Floyd didn't have the punching power Gervonta had, but even if Gervonta lands, I don't see him hurting Jake to the point he knocks him out.
This shit, I'm like, okay.
Jake is bodied up, man.
He's big.
Yeah.
Probably has 100 pounds on Gervonta.
Maybe. I'd say Gervonta probably walks at 150.
Oh, he's so small.
So small.
Jake Paul reacted with shock after watching Gervonta Davis's monster-like training sessions, but he remained positive and confident in himself. He admitted that Davis is a skilled and disciplined fighter, yet Paul emphasized that his own preparation and mindset give him an edge. According to him, positivity and self-belief have carried him through 5 years of relentless training and steady improvement. Paul highlighted that despite countless sparring sessions, he has never been knocked out, which fuels his confidence heading into this fight. For him, stepping into the ring is not just about skill, it is about proving that belief and discipline can make the ultimate difference.
Don't mind. Go ahead, run it off. Yeah.
The biggest obstacle standing in the way of a showdown between Gervonta Davis and Jake Paul is the massive gap in their weight classes. Davis has built his reputation in the lighter divisions, where his speed and explosive power overwhelm opponents his size. Jake Paul, on the other hand, naturally walks around much heavier and usually fights in the cruiserweight range. For boxing fans and experts, the concern is not just a matter of a few pounds but a gulf that makes the matchup nearly unrealistic. When weight gaps are too wide, skill is not the only factor. Physical mass brings power, endurance, and resistance to punches. For this reason, many believe the fight will remain more fantasy than reality. Even with its spectacle value, promoters cannot ignore the dangers when a naturally smaller man steps in against someone much larger.
There's no way in hell this fight was ever going to happen. And the fact that y'all believed it, I don't know, you're stupid. So Rick Thompson, chairman of the Georgia Athletic Commission, told USA Today Sports that Paul's promotion company withdrew its request for permits and a rule waiver, citing the 65-pound weight difference between the fighters. The Rick Thompson guy straight up said they've been promoting something they should not have been. Come on, guys, like, use your brains. Y'all boxing fans, you understand this. This fight was never going to happen. This is the article from USA Today. It says the status of the proposed fight between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis under scrutiny because of the weight discrepancy between the two fighters. Rick Thompson is coming out and saying this stuff because he said he believes it's in the public's best interest to know that they've been promoting something they should not have been. Communications director for the Office of the Secretary of State told USA Today Sports the event will not be happening. But funny enough, tickets are still available. You could still purchase them online, and the fight is still listed on the State Farm Arena event.
Controversy added another twist when reports emerged that the state of Georgia rejected hosting Gervonta Davis, forcing Jake Paul to shift his preparations and plans to Miami. This episode highlights how chaotic negotiations for high-profile exhibition bouts can be. States often weigh not only financial benefits, but also regulatory risks and reputational concerns when sanctioning boxing events. For Davis, being rejected in Georgia underlines how his name still carries both excitement and baggage. For Paul, the move to Miami fits his brand of generating buzz and grabbing headlines. The relocation not only changes logistics but also shifts the audience's mood. Since Miami has become a hub for celebrity-driven fight spectacles, the switch ensures attention remains on the event, while also exposing the fragile ground these promotional battles often rest upon.
Gervonta Davis and Jake Paul both let everybody know that the location for their exhibition fight has changed from Atlanta to Florida. And let me tell you, it wasn't because Jake Paul just woke up in the morning and decided that he was going to change the venue. No, it was because of politics once again getting in the way of a Gervonta Davis fight. The amount of times that local small politicians play around with Gervonta Davis and Gervonta Davis's fights is at the point of being ridiculous right now. There is no way without coercion that this many venues, that Gervonta Davis has this many problems with venues. But this time, it wasn't a problem with the venue. It was a problem with the state of Georgia. Now, before I get into it, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you so much. And thank you to everybody that supports in the super thanks of the videos like this. It's a little dollar sign by a comment. And thank you to my guy that did it yesterday with the big $5 holler. Thank you so much, man. I'll thank you directly in the video. But let's get to this because I'm sick of this, man. Every single solitary time, well, over the last 2 years, pretty much, and I'm saying this because I believe this to be true, pretty much since Gervonta Davis started having an argument with Turki Al-Sheikh.
Former champion Chris Algieri praised Jake Paul's role in modern boxing, emphasizing that whether Paul wins or loses, he has undeniably marketed the sport in a way few traditional fighters have. Algieri pointed out that Paul created waves by bringing in new fans who never cared about boxing before, transforming his fights into crossover entertainment. Beyond just competing, Paul has convinced big names like Gervonta Davis, fighters who already command attention, to step into the ring with him. This mixture creates a unique atmosphere where boxing meets celebrity culture, drawing viewers who might never have purchased a pay-per-view otherwise. Algieri argued that Paul's promotional genius should not be dismissed simply because he is not a world champion. Instead, it proves that boxing's growth often depends on figures willing to blur the lines between pure sport and spectacle.
Jake, but it's mostly win-win for him. All right, so what does Gervonta Davis...
Whoa, hold on.
I gotta respond. That's what I want, Chris. Go ahead.
I didn't even get to talk.
Please.
So, what has he done for the sport? I mean, manufactured or not, he went out there and he performed and he got knockouts and people tuned in. Boxing fans tuned in. And you can talk about that shoe fight and that shoe. They're not boxing fans. Gervonta Davis sold pay-per-views to boxing fans. And he got boxing fans to come to fights, which is so needed, desperately needed in this day and age.
They marketed him that way. You can market anybody. You can market it that way. You can market it that way. And champ, you should know better because you and I were very marketable and never got any marketing except as opponents for high-level fighters. And you should know that. They talk about great white hypes and all this other stuff. No, that's absolutely not true. They manufacture what they want to manufacture. Shakur Stevenson can be marketable. He's not ghetto enough. Andre Ward was very marketable. He's not ghetto enough. Why do black fighters only get marketed when they're quote-unquote ghetto, when there's class guys who you can market as great examples? Shakur Stevenson, Andre Ward, so on and so forth. Yeah, I'm going to say it. Yeah, I'm saying it. People complain because I'm too real, and I'm going to be honest. Why could Ray Leonard be manufactured as a... I don't even want to use the word manufactured because Ray Leonard actually was legit.
Great fighter.
But Ray Leonard promoted as the class guy, and it worked. Why could you do it back then, but now you can't do it? Andre Ward was gold medalist the same way, class, could speak, mature, poised, could fight his ass off. Why didn't you market him the way you marketed Ray Leonard? What happened between 1976 and 2004? Why are you marketing Why are you marketing only Thug Life? Why? And I'm not saying, okay, I wasn't a part of this because I was a big fan of the hip-hop gangster rap generation and all this other stuff. But as a 44-year-old, you start to realize the concept of the entire scope of things. Why are you not marketing guys like Shakur Stevenson more? Why are you marketing this guy who doesn't want any of the smoke? Shakur has wanted all the smoke. This guy doesn't want any of the smoke.
Analysts remain divided when comparing Gervonta Davis and Jake Paul. Critics argue that Davis is far too small, and the size difference makes the idea of a competitive fight unrealistic. They believe this is why any matchup would likely have to be an exhibition rather than a sanctioned contest for rankings. The issue with exhibitions, they say, is that they lack real stakes and therefore struggle to sustain fan interest. On the other hand, many insist that Davis's speed, slick style, and natural boxing IQ would allow him to embarrass Jake Paul regardless of size. For them, the fight is less about weight and more about the fact that Davis has fought elite champions, while Paul's resume is built on limited experience. They imagine Davis darting in, landing sharp punches, and making Paul look clumsy despite the size gap.
Before I say any comment about it, my question is, what's the rules? And like, are they going to actually try and knock each other out? Because it's going to be a glorified sparring match. I'm not watching, dude. I don't give a fuck.
Jake's going to have a hard time hitting him.
Yeah.
You know?
Big time. Gervonta's so fast and skilled.
Gervonta's going to eat his
I thought
guts.
Jake was going to fight Anthony Joshua. That seemed
that was actually getting.
That
sounded
the
more
craziest
interesting.
idea I've ever heard. Jake Paul trying to fight Anthony Joshua is, crazy.
Not a sanctioned professional bout. This means the fight will not count towards either fighter's professional records.
So it's still being finalized.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that.
What is so behind the scenes? You think there are things like, hey, we don't punch each other in the jaw.
Yep. Or don't go. We can punch in the face, but don't go for broke. Like, don't knock me out.
Really?
Yeah. It's an exhibition.
That's
so
not
they
very
can get away
interesting
with
to
it.
me.
No. Until I find the rule sets, but when I hear exhibition, I'm like, okay.
Jake is bodied up, man.
He's big.
Yeah.
Probably has 100 pounds on Gervonta.
Maybe. I'd say Gervonta probably walks at 150.
Oh, he's so small.
He's so small. I mean, he's really small. Bring up Gervonta Davis next to Floyd Mayweather, because I've seen Floyd in person, and he's tiny. You've seen Floyd in person.
I've worked with Gervonta and Floyd.
Tiny.
Well, Floyd likely has shoes on there.
Oh, dude, he's so small.
He's tiny, guys.
Yeah. I mean, he's so small. Wow.
Chael Sonnen, known for his blunt takes, weighed in by saying Jake Paul shocked the public by suddenly pivoting toward Gervonta Davis instead of Anthony Taylor, who many expected as his next opponent. Sonnen stressed that Tank Davis is not naturally a salesman when it comes to promoting fights. While Davis is a tremendous fighter, his ability to hype events and draw mainstream coverage is limited compared to Paul. Jake Paul, on the other hand, has built a career not only inside the ring but also outside it, mastering the art of crafting narratives that sell. Sonnen's point was that while Davis brings legitimacy through his skill, Paul provides the promotional machine. Without that balance, the fight would never generate the level of interest it currently has. It is, in a sense, a partnership, one side with raw fighting talent and the other with unmatched marketing instinct.